And good morning, everyone, and welcome back to NeelyFX. My name is Michael Neely, and this is the channel where I talk about foreign exchange trading, prop firm trading, and hopefully making money doing all those things. It's Saturday. It's the Saturday version of the daily update, so we've got more time to kind of take a look at things and see what's going on in the markets and see what happened in the markets. So with that, since we're going to be talking about putting money at risk, it's important we talk about the risk disclaimer screen. So here we go. This channel is for educational and entertainment purposes only and does not constitute trading or financial advice. I'm a professional trader, not a broker, trading my own capital. I do not solicit funds, manage client accounts, nor do I hold CFTC or NFA registration. I have held NFA registration in the past. I know what that's like. Forex trading is highly speculative with a higher risk of losing some or all of your invested capital. Only trade with funds you can comfortably afford to lose. And here's the CFTC risk disclosure. Forex trading carries a high degree of risk and may not be suitable for all investors. A high degree of leverage can work against you as well as for you. Before trading Forex, consider your investment objectives, experience, and risk appetite. You could sustain a loss of some or all of your investment capital. All right, so first let's get into what we are looking at today. Let's go over here and select an appropriate screen. There we go. Here we are. Here we have the what happened yesterday in the markets. It's more of a review more so than a look ahead. The look ahead I do on Sunday, so stay tuned for that tomorrow. So another reason to subscribe to the channel is my weekly updates, my weekly look aheads. So first, yesterday's numbers came out kind of sluggish. The core retail sales, good. They hit and there's Canadian retail sales are good, and whatever this is did well. Advanced GDP for the United States is down 1.4%. Big miss on GDP, and also core prices went up. So we're looking at higher inflation and lower productivity, which is indicative of the years between 2016 and 2020. Really current. I don't know how much I trust the numbers coming out of the government right now. They're all over the place. We don't see any specific patterns. They're up one day, 1 month, and down the next month. It's just they're not any smooth patterns that I'm used to seeing from the years of watching all these numbers go back and forth. But at any rate, that's why I look more at price action and less on what the fundamentals are, because they could come back and revise this completely differently tomorrow. Advanced GDP price index are also showing an increase in inflation, which an increase in inflation typically means you want to lower interest rates. But here's the catcher. We have a higher risk of, or a higher probability that the Fed is going to hold interest rates. So it's the exact opposite take of what I would think would be happening in the economy. So this just doesn't make sense to me anymore. That's why I don't watch fundamentals as much as technicals. Here's the technical part of what I'm looking at. Let's start with the DXY. So the DXY finished at 97.78 yesterday, kind of off, kind of off a little bit from the 98. It's been hanging around lately, but it's about time for a reversal on that. It's not a strong market. It's not just raging to flip all of a sudden, but it is showing a strong mean reversion type pattern. Euro versus, so we're looking at eventually a weaker dollar, I think, is going to happen. At least it's going to come down to around 96.85 and then flip back in the other direction. That's what mean reversion does. Check out some videos on mean reversion. It's a very interesting pattern, and I do have a EI built that works pretty well on mean reversion strategies. I've tested it on the euro versus the dollar, and actually tested it live in the euro versus the dollar. I've got to get my VPN set back up again for me to continue that, but that's just one of the fun things you can do in MetaTrader 4, MetaTrader 5, which you cannot do in DX Trade. So I don't have that screen up, but that's the what do you call them? Prop firm challenges. The only prop firm the only trading platform that's available for prop firm trading in the United States is DX Trade, and you cannot automate that, because you don't have access to the back end. But at any rate, enough of that. Let's go to the euro versus the Great British Pound. Here we have the just kind of hanging out. Again, just not really going anywhere. It's amazing how still the market's been this week. Euro versus the dollar, with all the news that's been coming out, it's amazing how still the markets have been. Let's look at Bitcoin real quick on that topic. 68.55. 68,550. Again, not just kind of languishing right there between a new consolidating with a new pattern between 70 and 65. It's been quite the rage for the past 10 years, and now it is falling flat. So let's go back to the pound versus the yen, which is around here somewhere. Here it is. Pardon me, euro versus the dollar, not the pound versus the yen yet. Euro versus the Great British Pound, not really hanging out. Okay, euro versus the dollar, here we go. Kind of bottoming out right there at 1781. I'm going to call that. I'm not going to call that a bottom. I'm going to call that another mean reversion type activity. I would like to see it close above one of these Bollinger Bands before it finally gets there. Before to call it a, absolutely right now it's just stagnating, languishing right there. About languishing is a good word. I like that word. Around 1770. And again, that's a lot of resistance right there too. So we could be seeing a downward trend in euro versus the dollar, which would be the opposite of a downward trend in the dollar. So it's kind of hard to call what's going to happen next. Or to kind of let technical analysis do its job of what's going to happen next when the markets aren't going anywhere. When price action is still. Pound versus the yen. That looks like a doji candle if I've ever seen one. A weekly, daily doji candle on the daily close, indicating we're going to probably see that turn. Turn to the south, which would indicate weaker dollar or just massively stronger yen. That could happen too. Pound versus the dollar. Again, that's now that is looking like a mean reversion area. A little bit closer, and it would have closed. See what closes on that. 134.94.7, 134.39.4. So we're 3 pipettes away from that closing below the Bollinger Band, and then are giving a close above the Bollinger Band. So that's probably close enough. You can probably call that a mean reversion. So probably going to see an increase in the pound versus the dollar. If the mean reversion strategy holds, we'll see if that happens. Dollar versus the pound versus the yen. This is one of my favorite due to volatility. And look at that. Look how still that's been the past week. I mean, just not 207.30, 209. Well, 250 pips, 250 pip range. But it's you're a lot of bouncy, and then right there in the middle at 208.93. So it's having trouble breaking 293, 209 and holding it again. A lot of selling pressure right up here at 209.60. But the way to play this, you don't want to get trade the yen pairs on the sell because it's going to cost you money if you got to hold it over the day. The best way to do that is to get in high and then probably get in low and then get the buy into the range. Because you can make money going up or going down. It's not just a set trend. That's one of the beautiful things about Forex. You can make money going up or going down, regardless of what the trend is. Doesn't mean you got to fight the trend. You just have to time your trades very, very carefully. And for example, in a downward trend and you're buying, you need to make sure that better yet, don't do that. It's dangerous, but it can't be done. In theory, we're going to leave it at that. I don't do that. Don't do that. Never mind. Euro versus the dollar. Euro versus the yen. Again, a little upward movement in the euro versus the yen, indicating that the yen carry trade is solid. To me, that's what that means. Another mean reversion type activities going on here between the dollar and the Canadian. It's kind of not really going anywhere. It's a very strong doji though, so we could see downward action in the dollar versus the Canadian. Canadian versus the yen. Look at that doji. That's a beauty too. Lots of dojis on Friday. Lots of dojis, indicating a lot of possible reversals. So we could see a reversal in the Canadian versus the yen. Euro versus the yen is right at going into a lot of selling pressure right there. Pound versus the yen is just kind of laying there. Dollar versus the yen could be seeing a top out. So I think we could see a lot of Japanese strength coming up this next week. Maybe. Again, these are maybes. These are not definites. Don't play the trade and blame me because I'm the one that gave you the idea. It is a possibility, but it is not a certainty. Oil. Oil's kind of hanging out at 66.48. Look at a lot of geopolitical tension happening in the Middle East. We'll see if what happens with that. Aussie versus the dollar. A lot of buying pressure right here. So we could see an increase in the Aussie versus the dollar. In fact, that's looking like a good buy trade. Get not a good, a nice purchase trade. There we go. A nice long trade. There we go. That's even better. So 71. Oh, except we want to get it above 71. 71.55 is about the peak of where it's been. However, it's not really raging anywhere. So it's still inside the one deviation Bollinger Band. You might get into that right above that Bollinger Band, right around, right above 71, 71.10 maybe. Might be a good place to enter that market. Gold. Ooh, look at that gold perk up. Gold perked up to 51.07. I know a lot of talking heads are saying that a U.S. strike on on Iran is imminent. Don't see us telegraphing that well, but then again, it's not a global chess game anymore. It's more of a I don't know what's going on. But at any rate, 5107 is not many surprise bombings happening lately. No, that's what I'm saying. So 5107 is where gold is. It's kind of doing well. Platinum. Oh, platinum is perking up a little bit. How about that? Getting into a strong selling area. So we'll see if that holds. Palladium, another precious metal, part of the precious metal trade. Not one I trade, but precious metal trade. Just to get continuity between all the different metals. And look at silver. Silver up 7.7% yesterday, up to 84. So maybe I was a little rash in taking out my silver longs on paper. Still have plenty of this though. At any rate, that's all I've got today. If you like this video, then give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of these videos, then subscribe to the channel. And lastly, if you want to talk to me, then hit the comment section, and I'll be happy to comment. Happy to return your thoughts and see what's happening from there. So you guys have a great one. I will talk with you later. Bye.